Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Keith Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live Tuesday, February 18th, or next day on podcast, Apple, Spotify, all those good places. Hook your boys up, rate, subscribe, review. And if you're listening to the podcast, check us out live every Tuesday night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Best place to find us, D's Twitch handle, D_Frizzy_Frizz5 is where you find us. We have a fun show for you today. Not a lot in the sports world, right? We have a couple of all-star type things going on between NBA and NHL. We'll probably touch on both of them today, but we'll keep it light, keep it fun, probably keep it quick. But first, D, what it do?
What it do? What it do? Happy Tuesday. Man, what a week it's been. Crazy 7 days since the last time that we were here. How's everything with you?
I'm good. I'm just exhausted. As always, we're both just dragging our ass today, but we're here, man. We're here.
We're definitely here.
Before the show, so we just passed a very important holiday for some people, for couples. I don't know how big Valentine's Day is in your life, but it was this past Friday. You told me before the show you had quite a story for me. You held back so we could share it amongst all of us, you and all of our friends. What do you got for me?
So Valentine's Day was essentially about to get cut as a family holiday around here. It's been saved. We're good. We're gonna stick We're gonna stick with it. But dog, I had the craziest experience. So I ordered flowers for the missus, right? And in my mind, it was gonna play out like some Hitch type shit, like order flowers, they go to her job, she gets them while she's at work. Obviously, you try to promote to get her to cry, right? Like that's the thing. You want Mrs. to be feel special and have her cry in front of her, coworkers, but it's special. The flowers don't get fucking delivered.
Oh no.
Not only do they not get delivered, let me walk you through it and I'll be real quick so we can get to sports. Ordered them on Wednesday, said that they would be there. I get the email that says between 11 and 1 p.m. I'm like, all right, word. She might go to lunch around 1 o'clock. So, like, maybe she'll get them come back surprise. 11:30, 12 comes by, I get another email that says, now it's between 11 and 3. And I'm like,
no.
All right, well, 3's kind of pushing it just in case anything happens. So 4 o'clock comes around, still hasn't been updated. And now I'm messaging Al. I'm like, hey, I'm getting this code because I'm checking to see like where the delivery truck is, but like because she's the recipient, it has to be her number. So I got to get the code from her. She works at a job where she can't really look at her phone, but she's got the Apple Watch. So the codes that are being sent to her comes off as it being spam because she's like, what the hell is this? Yeah. So I finally get the code. I go look and it says delivery by the end of the day. No. Now I'm pissed because like it's 5 o'clock. She's leaving. So I drive to the location as she's coming back. I get to their office around 5:30. I stayed in that parking lot until 8 o'clock.
Are you serious? Wait. Hold on.
Yes.
So on Valentine's Day.
That's why I said it was a
miserable. Drove. I didn't see, like, I thought it was like, oh, she didn't get the flowers. So you drove to her.
I spent a pretty penny on these fucking flowers, dog. So like, and everything's more expensive because of the holiday, obviously. It's the same thing with weddings and what, like all these other shit that like it's just more expensive because of a specific day.
Okay.
So like I go to her job. She leaves at 5. I drive there to get there around 5:25, 5:30.
Does she know why you're not?
No, because I in my mind I'm like I don't want to get rid of the surprise still. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be like
now. All right, hold on. Slow down. See, now this could go really poorly because here's what we've done now, people.
Yeah.
This is what we've done. You've left to get the flowers, which I get it. Some people are like, yeah, you gotta get the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
But now you come home with the flowers. Even if you get the flowers and come home, you've now left your wife home with two unruly children on Valentine's Day. And maybe you get a pass if you're like, hey, I'm going to get the flowers, but you want to keep the surprise. So you don't even tell her. So she's probably like, it's fucking Valentine's Day. I got these two demons at home going crazy. Where the is my husband?
You hit that right on the head. 100%. So like I stay there, right? And the delivery place says up until 8 p.m. 7:59, I am on the horn, losing it on them. Long story short, again, message comes back from the company. They say, we're going to deliver the flowers tomorrow between 11 and 1. Hear me out. I go, okay, sure. They like, let me get you a 50% refund. We'll deliver them tomorrow. I already called Al, told her exactly what I was there for. Like, surprise is gone, but hopefully we get the flowers. Tomorrow comes around.
Nah,
they don't deliver them. Not only do they not deliver them, but the delivery goes from it being, again, 11 to 1 to at some point throughout the day. She stayed home all day, thankfully, because she had something with her friends. But, like, again, nothing. So
by the way, for those who are not aware, it just dawned on me. You said they're going to deliver it the next day. The next day, Valentine's Day was on a Friday this year. So you went to the office, her office, on a Saturday to try to get the flowers?
No, I went to her office on Friday. I said they switched it to get delivered to our house.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like,
no. To the house.
Okay,
doesn't get delivered. So like I again lost my shit. I'm not gonna name the company because I don't want to ruin.
1-800-Flowers.
1-800-Flowers was the fucking company. Yes, 100%.
Knew it.
So and I've never left reviews, like never. And I work with Google, so like I don't, unless you like something bad happens, I'm not gonna leave a review. Every single branch from the East Coast to the West Coast, I left 1 star, 7-paragraph reviews. Like I'm ruining everything about this. Like I'm pissed, obviously. So shit didn't go the right way, unfortunately. But because of the whole ordering and non-ordering, I got my money back. I'm not mad at that part. But you want to know the kicker of all of this? Guess what showed up at my house this afternoon?
Not the flowers.
The fucking flowers.
Oh, bruh. The fucking flowers show up.
So I ain't calling him back.
You get one of these.
No, I mean I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy because she likes them, right? It sucks. The card says Happy Valentine's Day from us. You know what I'm saying? Like we got it for her for Friday, but they came here on Tuesday. I got my money back, so I'm not mad at that part, obviously. And we got this big ass glass vase, right? So like it says it's from Italy. So like the experience sucked.
Oh, you spent a pretty penny on the flowers. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, tell me about it. But it again, just it's not even a planning thing. It's just there was so much that went into it for it to go the way that it did. So I've done my kumbaya, my wusa. I was ready to say fuck Valentine's Day. I'm never doing shit again. And then obviously the missus like it was the thought that counted. I'm like, you're right. Thank you. Because I was ready to like I would have probably killed somebody if like somebody showed up. If the delivery guy showed up, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I gotta say this because people are popping into the live show. If you were just jumping in now, please go back listen to the podcast because D just had the most amazing Valentine's Day story about his fiasco. I'm so glad you decided to wait and tell me the story with the people live because man, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, full out of left field, but we're here, so why not?
Low key is what I did for just the flowers. Like, I did the flowers. We don't do Valentine's Day around here. It's not really a big holiday for us. But, it's like, I'll get some flowers and just show some appreciation. Whole Foods, great flowers for a cheap price.
Every store around here has great flowers. But the plan was the surprise at work. That didn't work, unfortunately. So you'll definitely see me going to, Market Basket and just getting flowers moving forward.
The nice one too is you get them the day before, get them prepped in the basement, and pop them out when she comes up. Boom, you're
we
a
don't
hero.
have basements down here, but
I like the idea though. The idea of doing the order to the work. It just the kicker though is like I could see one day late in the flowers. You got it
Tuesday.
You got it 1 week. No, wait, Friday to Saturday,
4
Saturday,
days.
Sunday. 4 days later, Jesus Christ.
4 days. Crazy.
They must have been dead by that point too.
Well, the thing was when I was on hold for customer service on Friday, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I called them on Sunday, went right through.
You want to know why? Because everyone else was bullshit on Thursday about their flowers.
Yeah, where the hell's my shit? Like, I know they'll never not take the order, but like, don't say, 11 to 1, then switch it up, say 11 to 3, then say 11 to 8, and then say, hey, tomorrow. Like, at some point, own it up and be like,
you know what that feeling is? That's that feeling. Here's the feeling. If you want to know, I think it's very relatable to everyone. What you experienced with that timetable, as when you're driving somewhere that's like a decent trip, like 3 hours, and you're like, oh damn, I'm down to 2 hours, and you're just like, it's like 2 hours 15 minutes, 2 hours 30 minutes, 2 hours. You're like, oh shit, there's traffic, and it just keeps building and building. That's how you felt on Valentine's Day.
Very true.
Man, my Valentine's Day was much more chill. We had great plans. The plan was. We didn't have plans. We were making dinner, and my wife really likes Noah Kahan, the musical artist. She's like, "Oh, did you know he's in the Celebrity All-Star Game?" And I'm like, "Oh no, that's kind of dope. You want to watch it?" She's like, "Hell yeah!" She's like, "You want to pop a bottle of wine and watch the Celebrity All-Star?"
Yeah,
let's do it. That's a Valentine's Day for you, my man.
It was much better than ours.
And speaking of the Celebrity All-Star Game, which is part of All-Star Weekend, tough word to say. Let's get right into that.
Yes, sir.
D, you said you were out on All-Star Weekend this year.
I've been slowly getting away from All-Star Weekend every year. And I think this was the least amount of, I would say, activities or whatever you want to call them that events that I've watched in a very long time. I honestly, I watched a little bit of the 3-point contest. I watched not a single dribble of the All-Star games themselves. Rising Stars. I don't even know if they do an international versus American anymore. Nothing of the dunk contest. Heard Mac McClung could have broke his neck, but he still won. Like, I just heard headlines, but I didn't watch. This is so much out of touch I was from it. Is my group text that is usually a lot of football. We're talking about how bad the All-Star game was because of Chris Paul trying to cheat the system. And I was like,
Do you know what happened there? Because we'll get into
Oh,
that.
I know exactly
Okay,
what
okay,
happened,
let's
but
talk
we
about
can
that
go
one.
event by event. That one was on Saturday, so we don't have to take. We can talk about the
I would
Friday
say
stuff first.
just in general, though, I'm kind of sick and tired of people just trashing All-Star Weekend.
It's the thing to do right now. I'll tell
It's
you
the
that.
thing to do. I feel like when with people in social media and group chats in general, like everyone gets hive mind and just will say the same thing over and over again.
Mhm.
I think one of the biggest problems with All-Star Weekend is that and I'm talking about like millennials in general, as we get older, right, we feel more nostalgic to the things when we were younger. And that doesn't say the things that when we were younger were better. Like, listen, I used to love Capri Suns as a kid. That was my absolute jam. I had a Capri Sun a year ago as an adult. It ain't that good.
Mm.
Like, there's just a nostalgic factor. And when you think about when you were a kid watching All-Star games, it just felt so much bigger. And now you don't have that same feeling watching the game. So now it sucks. And is it the best product? No, but it's fun. It's supposed to be an exhibition. These guys they play 82 games a year, right? They get 1 week off. Are they going to want to go balls to the wall? Probably not. I get it. What's your grievance?
I wouldn't say that they get 1 week off, right? The reason why I say that there's a ton of load management throughout the season. We don't need to go too deep into that, but when it comes to the All-Star weekend, and this is a point that's been made by the talking heads plenty of times. We all see the Planet Fitness workout world one-on-one, not even the 5v5s during the like summer that like these guys do, like Devin Booker, LeBron James, Hoodie Mello was a thing for years of prime NBA players going to pick up gyms or the Rucker Park and put it in 97, 100, 110% effort. When people are paying for this exhibition and it's promoted for weeks, people vote. There are people that feel like they have skin in the game because they were able to select a player to be in the game, and then you get to the game and it's half-assed. That's when people go, all right, man, like I'm not expecting you guys to go out there and try to kill each other, but like let's at least act like we want to be here or not say things like, "No, I'm just here just because like I got voted." Like
Mm.
people are going to be like, "Why are you saying that?" You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to turn people away. And
Well,
I'm for basketball, but not for how the players are speaking when it comes to the weekend.
you didn't watch the game itself. I thought it was a
Mm.
more competitive product this year than it's been in the
From
past.
what I heard, which is good.
4v4 format. And with your comment about like, guys playing at Planet Fitness or whatever in the summer, the biggest motivator is embarrassment, right? And that is also the case in these All-Star games. But in the past, when we have scores of 180 to 190, when everyone has that chill vibe, then no one's going to push each other because no one wants to really work hard. I thought this year would have been interesting if they actually had the normal format because Wemby would have taken that thing extremely seriously and busted someone's ass in the game.
I'm glad that you said that. We haven't talked about the skills competition yet, but that's part of. You want me to make
No,
wait
we'll get to that. We'll
comment?
get to the skills
Okay, okay.
contest.
Well, you just made the comment about Wemby, and it plays a part into the skills competition also.
I did want to start with the celebrity game because that's actually my
Okay.
favorite event of the
Yep.
weekend. Do you ever watch the celebrity game?
I used to when it was Kevin Hart and one of the Migos was in it. Chris Brown used to be MVP. Like I did watch it when those guys, but like now it's like streamers that like I just again
That's your
you talk about,
people.
yeah, but like you talk about nostalgic, it's like I don't follow them. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched Kevin Hart movies and stand up. I listened to Chris
Okay.
Brown music and Migos. Like Drewski, he's cool, but like I don't. There's nothing that I go out and search to listen or watch him. Right. Same thing with like I Show Speed. He's all over the place with his streaming. I just don't follow them. Not saying that they're not
That's you.
great at what they do, but it's just not my age. Like they're like 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like I follow people that are
I got
usually my
you.
age now.
Let me
Um,
try to find some
oh,
names
God.
that you might have recognized. So, like there was two streamers. They got Kai Cenat, which I'm sure you're familiar
Kai,
with.
yeah, yep.
Baron Davis was a former NBA player playing. Rome Flynn, who's an actor, but he actually won the MVP of the game. You like WNBA? They had two WNBA players, Rakaya Jackson.
Okay,
You know who that is?
older,
Kayla Thornton.
another older name.
Okay. couple Olympians, a bunch of musicians. Shabuzi,
Nice.
No Khan. Any other singers? Walker Hayes, a country guy. Yeah, I mean the names weren't super impressive this year, but
No
I
Justin
thought
Bieber.
yeah, like no top end names like that. But I thought it was a fun game. The actual, the funny thing is usually I watch the game. There's like half the people who can play basketball, and the other half are just absolute dog shit. I
Yeah.
thought everyone who played was actually okay at basketball and took it
Anybody
serious.
dunk?
Yeah, there was an Olympian who dunked. What's his name? I have right here. Shelby McEwen. He's an Olympic high jumper.
Well, that would make sense.
My man could jump.
Boy got bunnies.
You know what I love about the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, and I just like a thought experiment, right? Could we make the regular All-Star Game in the same format as the Celebrity Game with the nonsense?
Just do whatever you want.
Here's some of the things that went on in the Celebrity Game.
Okay.
They have the Ruffles double your point button, where like you can smash a button, points become worth double for 2 minutes. There was a part of the game for 5 minutes where if you committed a foul, you went to the penalty box, and the numbers kept getting reduced on the court. Like just dumb shit. They had one thing where they brought in a mascot to play defense on one side of the court.
That's so wonky.
Yeah. There was one other ridiculous thing. They had the people like do events in between to earn bonus points between. Like, let's make if we're gonna make the All-Star game like a joke, like the real one, let's have some of the fun of the Celebrity Game.
I mean, it's a potential thing. Not to say that like the NFL is making it a joke, but like
they're leading into it though.
That's what I'm saying. Like that flag football is a little bit more competitive than the Pro Bowl is. Like the actual game, 11 on 11, and I miss the QB skills competition shit. Like I missed, the kickers with I think it was before Justin Tucker. No, actually Justin Tucker was a part of one of them.
Ooh.
Where like they're like trying to
Justin Tucker, by the way.
Yeah, he's I forgot it. Once I said that name, I was like,
yeah.
Him and Deshaun are cooling together. But essentially, like they're doing gimmick stuff versus an actual game. So maybe I don't think the NBA needs to go that route yet. But you saying that it's a funny thing in the celebrity game.
Yeah, it's fun. You know what I love about the NFL one is like they're like, you know what, we really can't take this seriously because people are gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
But they've made it fun. Like they have a tug of war with the offensive lineman, like that type of stuff. And they used to have dodgeball, like that type of stuff. It's just stupid and fun, but it's entertaining.
That I don't mind because football is they're literally like people have died on the field. Like we saw a man die 2 years ago on the football field. He got revived, thankfully. But like, yeah, we don't need an extra game of them going out balls to the wall. Like Sean Taylor putting Brian Moorman in a coffin essentially because he did a fake punt, and like I don't, as great as that hit was, we don't need to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the play game essentially. But with the NBA, there's risk of injury in everything you do, but there's not like risk of like major injury if you just play the game the right way. Like you're not going out there to land underneath somebody or take somebody out if they go up for a dunk. Like yeah, you might jump straight up, but like you're not going to go up there and try to clothesline them for trying to dunk on you.
Yeah, I think just the worries, like you're probably not trying to foul people going for layups and stuff in the NBA All-Star game, and
they didn't do that back in the day. Like it's not like they were like people were clotheslining people in the 90s, and that's what made the All-Star game great. Or like early 2000s, people were like hand checking. No, they just weren't giving free. It wasn't a layup.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. This going on. Oh, I did forget to mention T.O. played in the Celebrity Game.
Nice.
He's old. He looked bad though. He looked rough.
Him and Chad Johnson think that they could still play.
Yeah, he looked rough. The guy who won the MVP for that game was impressive. Rome Flynn. He's an actor. He gets the ball at like the elbow, and he goes for like a Dirk fade. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And he cashes it. I'm like, whatever. And then he goes exact same spot, exact same move again, cashes it. I'm like, oh, he knows what he actually is trying to do.
Athlete.
And then he does the third time in a row, three possessions in a row. And I was like, oh, this dude can ball. So yeah, it's fun. It's a good event to just drink to and have a good time. But we were talking about people taking this seriously, and I didn't want to get to the skills competition because what happened with the team Spurs. So if you're not aware what happened was with the skill competition, I think they break them into I should look this up. There's at least 3 teams. I think there was 4 teams. There's 3 teams. Okay. Team Spurs, Team Warriors, and Team Cavs. And they've always been tinkering with the format of the skills competition over the years. So at this point, it's 3 teams, 2 players each. So I think they usually they've been pairing a big with a little. So you have Wemby, Chris Paul, it was Mobley on the Cavs, and
Garland.
No, it was Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, okay.
And then Team Warriors was Moses Moody, and Draymond Green. So the way this works is at the final round, what they do is an obstacle course. So a lot of the things is like you got to, 3 bounce passes through the circle, 3 chest passes through the circle. They have a layup, and then they have a couple like dribble between the cones, and then a couple take some shots. There's 3 shooting stations. There is a 3-point one where you got to hit one of them. There's a free throw. You got to hit one free throw, and then a corner 3 with these weird windmill hands going in circles. And the idea with the shooting ones, for the purpose of time, is that you get 3 attempts. Once you miss all 3 attempts, you just move on because they can't have you sitting there all day shooting.
Try to get a bucket. Yep.
Now, those are the rules. Like, it's plain as day. Those are the rules written on paper. And what happens a lot of time, and this happened with Draymond, is like, you take the first shot, you think it goes in, you're starting to run to the next station. Oh, shit, I bricked. I got to run back. I got to take another shot. You're taking jump shots. It's taking time off the clock. I got to say, D, it was a goddamn genius move by either Wemby. This seems like a Chris Paul.
It was Chris Paul.
Because the Team Spurs plan was to just take the balls off the rack and just chuck them as fast as you can. Just don't even try to shoot the ball. And technically, by the letter of the law, the rule is you take 3 attempts. And if you miss them all, you just move on. The rule doesn't say how the attempts have to look. So they had a record time because they just chucked the balls off the rack. We go to find out that they get disqualified immediately after. D, what do you think about that move?
They are SOF capital T for that. And this is where I was going to talk about the Wemby thing, because you said if this were East versus West, he would have went out there and tried to take people's heads off. What I don't want is people like Chris Paul changing the way Wemby is, because I can promise you when he said that, Wemby would be like, what the fuck? No.
Wemby's definitely like, I want to win no matter what, and he found a loophole.
Miss me with that. Not a chance. Like, there's just no way. The dude wants to go out there and put up 70 every single night. There's no way that he's going to be like,
he wants to win.
Yeah, I get that part. I do get that. But it's just like, that was one of those things once I heard about it and then I watched the video, I was like, this is corny. Come on, man. Like, I'm not gonna say that ruined All-Star Weekend or anything like that, but like, just don't make it like that obvious. Go up there and just shoot, and then like you don't even have to worry about thinking it's going in. But they legit just grabbed the ball and threw it like chest passes at the rim, and I was like, no, I don't even think it was chest passes. I think Wemby caught it, like
spiked him.
like
Gronk spiked him into the ground.
Yeah, 3 straight like one-handed throws, and I was like, come on, man. Like, if you're gonna do that, don't make it look so obvious. Then people could be like, "Oh, you didn't do it the right way."
You and me could not have more opposite opinions on this subject, because I think it was absolutely brilliant that they thought they cared about winning this so much that they thought of a way within the letter of the law to skirt the rules and potentially put themselves in a winning position.
And then they got disqualified because of it. That's how much of those rules they didn't follow.
The best part, which I don't think it's shown, I saw it on a clip afterwards, is they're on the bench and they're being told by an official, like, yeah, we're not taking that, we're disqualifying you. And right after the gentleman tells them that they're disqualified, they have the sideline reporter. I don't know who
she got stiff-armed away.
Who the woman was. She goes to like talk to Chris Paul, and the guy's just like, no, you can't talk to them. Because Chris Paul would have gone off on something. Right.
Yeah, I saw that. She felt snubbed. She was like, well, I guess I can't talk to them, and just had to like skedaddle away. But nah, man, you can't. I get it. It's games. It's fun, so on and so forth. But like, let's not do that. Let's not try to game the system. Just if you're gonna do it, just don't make it seem that obvious. Just go up there and shoot the shots with no intention of them going in.
I should have done this on the first event. And we skipped over the Rising Stars. I'm not really too interested in the Rising Stars challenge.
How did you feel about I want to know your opinion on this because like it could get mixed reviews.
Okay.
How did you feel about Draymond Green's comments about the Rising Stars game and how they are essentially sharing the court with the All Stars and like they're
I
on the court at
I
the same
think
time?
his objection, if I'm understanding where you're going with this correctly, his objection, Draymond Green, that is, was the idea that the All-Star game is a 4v4, including a team of rising stars. And his objection was, why do we have this JV team playing against the best in the world in the actual All-Star game?
Not that part. He was calling him like JV-ish, but it was more of his gripe, in which I can kind of understand, is he was like, I didn't touch the floor as an like unless I was an NBA All-Star. Meaning, like his example that he gave was how many Air Force Ones are there? Hundreds of thousands of them, right? Like for the president. But when is it actually the only Air Force One? When the president is on that plane, right? Like that's the only one. Even if there's hundreds of planes that he rides, that's the only one that's considered Air Force One. He's like, that's how it is with the NBA All-Star court, where it's like we are the All-Stars. If you're just a guy that didn't make the All-Star team, you didn't work hard enough to be an all-star. You shouldn't be on this court celebrating as if you are an all-star. And I kind of understand him with that one because I'm like, think of it this way. We're talking about how soft it is. And these guys that are trying to bust their ass to become an all-star, and then this 17, 18-year-old, just because he happens to be a rookie, gets to play essentially in the game. Like what? That's going to make it lose its value. Just thinking about it that way. We're talking about trying to bring the game up, and you're going to water. Not saying you're going to, but you eventually may water down the product.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding his perspective. So again, is he talking specifically about the Rising Stars Challenge as an event by itself, or is he more egregious? I don't know what I'm looking for here. Aggravated by the idea that the Rising Star players are playing with the three All-Star teams.
The latter.
Okay. I would say this, Draymond, the reason why they're doing this is because you and your peers have dogged it for the past 3 years. And what I've seen, and this is why they're doing it, last year, 2024's NBA All-Star Weekend, they tweaked the Rising Stars game to add a G League team. I watched the Rising Stars event last year, start to finish. The first game between the two rookie sophomores.
G League won, right?
Well, let me finish. The game between the rookie sophomore team without the G Leaguers was dog shit. People dragged ass like the All-Star game. The second game, when they had the rookie sophomores versus the G Leagues, that game was bananas because the G Leaguers is like, nah, we're gonna cause some trouble. Like, what do we got to lose? And the point is, having this Rising Stars team placed in the All-Star game absolutely is going to force the All-Stars to play harder. It is only because Draymond and his peers of All-Stars decide not to do shit at All-Star Weekend that this has now happened. So, like, he does not get the right to complain at something that he himself and his peers have caused.
You're not wrong at that part either. I'm looking at it more of that set of guys get to play in the game without being voted to play in the game. They're just there.
I don't think Adam Silver wants to do that. Like, I don't think he wants to have that team there to push them. But I don't think Adam Silver wants to have this 4v4 tournament. We'll talk about the All-Star game afterwards.
So many tournaments now.
But again, we've seen how bad this product has been in the past, and doing little tweaks like this have forced the participants to try harder. And that's the whole point. So, miss me, Draymond. I don't want to hear your crocodile tears about it, buddy. You're not even an All-Star this year. But I was going to ask you before we got sidetracked on that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this going forward, and we'll go back to the celebrity game. Scale to 1 to 10. What is your opinion on the celebrity game as an idea conceptually? Like, are we in on the celebrity game continuing? We like it 1 to 10.
Yeah, I'm 7, 8. I don't think it's a bad.
Pro.
Yeah, I'm pro celebrity game. I don't see an issue with it.
It sounds like the Rising Stars thing. You don't really care about the Rising Stars itself. Game.
If it's there, I'd rather be international versus national.
They used to do that for the young guys.
I like that.
That was cool.
Yeah, I like everybody that was an international rookie or sophomore versus whoever was an American rookie or sophomore. I like that because people play for pride, and we're talking
Yeah.
about it. Like when Luca and let's just throw out names at the time, Luca, Dante Exum, and Jokic got to play on the same team, or even Shea, right? Like let's say they all came in at the same time. That team's gonna try to dominate Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Joel Embiid if they all came in at the same year. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna try to win and be like, oh, we'll do this for our country. Like they'll go in and try to dominate essentially. Whereas just the regular sophomores versus rookies, sophomores are gonna get the same feeling that they get with the All-Star game. We've been here, bro. Like y'all beneath us. Like we don't have to really show up. There's nothing for us to prove. We're already in the league.
Yeah, I would like the idea for the Rising Stars to have international versus American. I just think it's hard logistically to always have that pan out. Like depending
Right.
on how many international players you got that are worthy.
You'd
I
have
like
to
the
call people up in order to do it, which I think the reason why they stopped.
Well, what would be a cool idea? Hear me out for the Rising Stars. I have an idea. Adam Silver, hope you're listening.
Mm.
Um, before I get to the idea, I am pro with the rookie, the younger guys playing just to promote it because like a lot of guys, I'm a hardcore NBA fan. I know a lot of the rookies. I know the most obscure guys. A lot of NBA fans aren't hardcore like me. They might not know Stephon Castle that well. You learned about him this weekend. But my idea is, how about this? Rising Stars in America versus make a EuroLeague All-Star team from all the European basketball clubs,
So any age.
any age, like
So
they're
rookies and
all-stars to
sophomores
watch.
of America versus any European team.
Not one team, a EuroLeague All-Star team, the best
Right, that's what I meant.
EuroLeague
Like you're
players.
okay. Not a bad idea either.
Why does it? Why would the EuroLeague guys do it? Number one, give them a little money to come over here. But number two, you get to promote yourself, baby. Like this is your chance to show that you're worthy of being the NBA.
That's not a bad agreement. They could even probably do that with China. It's a big relationship between China and NBA when it comes to it.
Yeah, their basketball players are not as good.
Not as good. Okay.
Yeah, the EuroLeague is usually pretty solid. But that's
Okay.
my idea on the.
It's not a bad one.
All right. So, and then last thing, skills competition. 1 to 10. How you feeling on having skills competition?
If it were gone, it wouldn't bother me. But like if it's there, whatever. So I'd say I'm a 5.
I don't even know what you would do to tweak it. I just feel like it's a hard thing to
Yeah,
figure out.
you can't. It's not like it needs to be fixed. It's just it's a filler event.
That's why they put it first.
Mhm.
3-point competition. Winner was Tyler Hero. I did not expect that. Me and my wife, we both put $5. I was like, pick someone up so I can put money on for you. I went with Norm Powell.
Oh, why? Because he's got a hot winter this year. That's about it.
I mean, he of the participants, he had the highest 3-point
This
percentage.
season, yeah, he's not a sniper. He's just having a great season.
I figured Norm Powell was like trying to make an all-star case. He might have a grudge to
True.
hold. He was awful. She went with Darius Garland, who made it to the finals, came in second place.
He went off in round 2.
Unfortunately for me, Tyler Hero, which we all did not want to win, won the damn thing. Did you watch any of the 3-point competition?
I was in, like I said, I watched Brunson. Right, Brunson was in it, right?
Yeah.
I watched Brunson first round, and then I watched Dame get kicked, and then I was like, ugh. Kind of stopped watching after. So I saw Garland go off for 29. I was like, damn, I didn't think he could shoot like that. But then after Dame got eliminated, I turned it off.
Yeah, I like 3-point competition generally. I wasn't super moved this year. I don't know why. Maybe it was the names. Maybe
it's
it was
names. It's 100% the names.
You know what it was? I think the names does have something to do with it. But also I feel like everyone was abnormally bad this year. Like the scores were very low.
Yeah. Dame got eliminated with I think 16.
Yeah, that's a pretty low score. I think the last person who made it, who was Hero, 18, which is like super low most years.
Yeah. So like I definitely am pro 3-point competition. I just want to see snipers, right? Like when Ray Allen is going up against, I wish I could throw another name in back then. Mike Miller, people watch, right? Even if people don't know like the name, people know that Mike Miller can shoot, right? He can shoot The dude that looks like Ashton Kutcher. What's his name?
Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver. Like he's a sniper. You turn on a 3-point contest, and these aren't like all-stars, right? Like these aren't guys that are in the all-star game, but you know they can shoot. Which is why when you said Norman Powell, I was like, he's having a good season. He's not a sniper though. Like, and he could go out there and he could either make, 18 out of 30 shots, or he could make 4 out of 30 shots. Like that's how bad he can be.
You just with the Kyle Korver poll, you just jogged my memory that we need to do top 5 of random white guy shooters.
I'm not mad at that. Brian Scal would be number 1 for a lot of people.
Who are some of the names we threw out before? Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen, yeah, he's a good one. Obviously, JJ the GOAT. Adam Morrison's up there. Man, we could go down memory lane if we started sniping those people out. Tony Kukoc, I mean, he's European.
Oh my God. Jason Capono.
Jason Capono was one.
Oh, Marco Bellinelli.
Marco Bellinelli, yeah. Oh my
the
goodness.
criteria is you can't be that good at basketball, just like a random white guy shooter.
Who's my guy? Kevin was one. Andre Karolinko.
Who's my guy? Well, he's too good. Like he's too good.
You mean you non-all-star? Okay.
Like a random here's one. Who's my guy from Creighton?
Creighton Jimmer. No, not
Dimmerford. That's a good example. No, Creighton played for the Spurs, played for a bunch of teams. He's kind of chubby power forward white guy. Oh man.
Oh, Bonner.
No, but that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. You
said chubby white dude with orange hair.
That's gonna not orange hair. No.
I know. I threw that last part. Creighton power forward. I'll try to find it for you if you got anybody else.
Yeah. Who would we start this? Who would we start this with? Garrison Matthews is what inspired this this conversation today. Another white guy sharpshooter who just isn't very good at basketball in general. If you're a white guy who can just randomly hit threes and be like meh, like you got a place in the league, man.
Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard's got that.
He might win Sixth Man of the Year. He can't do anything else besides hit threes. He is 5'2".
And threes and half court shots.
Have end of the clock, end of the buzzer beater shots. Like he can hit those. I'll give him that. I'll give him credit for that.
Max Strus, another guy. Boom.
Max Strus, not a bad one. Yeah.
You think about all the best teams in the league, they got one random white guy shooter who can just knock them down. The Magic don't have one. That's what we're missing. Are you looking at my Creighton guy still?
I tried, but the names they didn't ring a bell. Any of them.
I'm just gonna yell it out at the end of the episode. I'll figure it out. So we good on the 3-point competition? Do we like how it's formatted? Like I think it's the best event of the weekend usually. I was a little disappointed this year, but we still love it, right?
Yeah, usually is the best event of the weekend is the 3-point contest.
Dunk contest again, it has been disappointing. I watched up into the final round, and honestly, this is how it went. You got my guy Stephon Castle, who like he can hoop. Like he's got
dunker too.
Howard dunker. He's got hops. Cool hair. That always helps with the dunk. He's got like the same hairstyle as you.
Yep.
We got Matas Buzelis, who, they needed some. I mean, I guess they had diversity with Mac McClung, but they got the tall, lanky white dude.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who the third dunker is from the Bucks. It's gonna elude me. I think it's AJ something.
You saying that right there, that guy from the Bucks is AJ something. Like that's part of the problem.
And then Mac McClung. So this is the order that they dunked in, right?
Yep.
And my guy Stephon Castle comes out, and he's like an okay dunk. It was like Stephon Castle's dunk, his first dunk, was something that you would see in an in-game dunk. You'd be like, okay, I see you. But it wasn't like, oh my God, dunk contest dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Matas Buzelis did not dunk in the first round. Dead ass. 130 seconds on the clock, a minute and a half. And my dude tries to do some behind the leg stuff and dunk, misses 7 times straight. I'm falling asleep.
Yes.
AJ something was up next from the Bucks. Again, missed 5 dunks in a row and just went to a standard dunk. I'm falling asleep. This is awful. Mac McClung comes out, hypes the crowd up, brings out a key. And I'm like, you ever seen the Vince McMahon meme where it's just like,
yeah.
So I'm falling asleep. I see Mac McClung. I'm like, okay, I sit up a little bit. I see the car coming. I'm like, oh,
what's he gonna do here?
The person stick the ball up. Oh, Dog, my guy jumps over a Kia, grabs the ball between his legs, spins halfway, reverse jams it. And it was, what's a good dunk? When a guy like that, who's an excellent dunker, can barely stick the landing and falls over afterwards. It was that difficult.
Yeah.
I would like to know what was going through Stefan Castle, Matas Buzelis, Dave, whatever his mind at that point. Like, they must have been like, why are we here?
This motherfucker. That was probably what they said in their minds, but other phrases besides that one. But yes, and it's good when it's the first dunk too, which is where a lot of the problems come in with the dunk contest. Is once you miss, all the mystique is gone for you. And it sounds like they've done away with the rounds and they just get a time limit to make a dunk. Is that what you're saying? They only get one dunk?
So they have multiple rounds.
Okay.
You have a minute and a half per round to complete the dunk.
Got it. What was McClung's first dunk?
That was his first dunk.
His first dunk was the Kia.
Yes.
Wow.
And then I think his last dunk was he got Evan Mobley, who I believe 6'11", and they put him on a platform and he dunked over his head without doing the little like cheat off the shoulder. Just straight up jumped over the man's head.
Yeah. He could dunk, he could hoop, and what is he, Orlando G League team?
Orlando G League, yep.
Yeah.
He's the first participant ever in the dunk contest to win 3 in a row.
Yeah. Good for him. But now he's done. So what do you have? You can't roll him up there a fourth time.
This is what I'm proposing. Again, we're trying to improve All-Star
the guy you were talking about too was Dougie McBuckets.
Doug McDermott. Yes, you should have saved it to me in the chat when he yelled Dougie McDermott at the end. That was my guy. Thank you. When you pointed, I was like, he knows. So McClung, obviously, he's a good G League player. He won the G League MVP. I don't want to disrespect him. He's a fringe NBA caliber player. Is that fair? That's not disrespectful.
Yeah, he played for the Lakers for a little bit. So it's not like he can't play in the NBA.
He's not a regular NBA player, but he's like a fringe who will find his way on some rosters.
Two-way.
My proposal, and with him, he came up being known as a dunker. He got famous doing
only dunking
dunks on Instagram and YouTube and stuff. So that's his background. He's obviously a very good NBA player as well. My proposal is this for the dunk contest. Why don't we just stop trying to force NBA players into it? Let's actually go out and just get random people who are legit excellent dunkers and have the most insane dunk competition dunk off, 4 Mac McClungs, and make it just a spectacle of basketball. Why are we forcing, if we're not going to get the LeBrons, the Giannis, the Ja, why are we forcing guys that I don't care to watch? I don't want to watch no one's watching the show to be like, oh, Matas Buzelis is dunking tonight. No one cares. So instead of forcing NBA players into it, let's just get people who do this for a living, the best of the best.
I wouldn't be against that, but I feel like that also becomes a watered down product at some point, because not only the name, I mean, you're not going to be able to follow the names, but that's a big ass liability issue right there, bro. They're not employed by the NBA, but they can come in and do some dunk where he can trip over a Ford F-150, break his neck, and now we got to pay for that. You don't think he is thinking about that for this G Leaguer? Let alone if it's some guy off the street that's playing at the Rucker Park. You know what I'm saying?
Who brought in the narc, man? Fucking
I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, people still want somebody to relate to.
All right, let me ask you this.
John Morant could go out there and do a 360 windmill, and people would lose their minds.
He's never going to.
I know he's not going to, but I'm saying what we don't have to have Aaron Gordon versus Zach LaVine every year. That doesn't have to happen. Dominique Wilkins just power dunked, 2-hand windmill power dunk, and people went, "Oh my god, he's 7 foot doing this." It wasn't anything extravagant.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
If Dominique Wilkins came back today in his prime and did that dunk, the majority of NBA fans would go like this. Yeah. What is that?
Because people are expecting someone to throw it off the backboard, do a cartwheel, catch it 360 between the legs. People want that in a dunk contest.
And it's not going to happen.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Bring out people who are excellent at it. And to your point, like people want names they can relate to. Everyone knows who Mac McClung is.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody 3 years ago, nobody knew who the hell Mac McClung was. Everyone's like, who's this dude from the G? Why is there a G Leaguer here? Right?
I thought you were going to say Matthias Yabusele knows who he is.
My point is, you put all excellent professional dunkers in the dunk competition. 2 years from now, everyone's gonna know all the four guys or whatever. Like you can rotate them out, but like they will be known commodities. It'll be good for those people because it raises their profile and it'll put up a fun product on TV. That's my point.
Maybe if they like GM it, then I could see that. Because you got to have something where it like relates to the NBA. So like this year, the Los Angeles Lakers are gonna promote and sponsor X player to do the dunk contest. Like that maybe because then like you're cheering for like the Lakers team to win something. Because if it's just Arthur Blank, I know that's the fucking owner for the Falcons. But like if it were like just this random dude that you're just like, I don't know who he is, but I hope he dunks well, like that's also going to get people to go like, this is the time for me to go get a hot dog at the stadium.
Do people watch the All-Star game because of their players or they just want to be entertained? They
watch it because of the people that are on the court, the names that are on the court.
I want to be entertained, man.
True, but like you're pulling up because you see Steph. If the All-Star game was consisted of people that were taking load management and they were all Trae Youngs and the reserves, people wouldn't watch it. People were pissed off that LeBron James was a scratch, like losing their minds that LeBron James didn't play. So you think that if like the second tier All-Stars were playing on the court that they would want to watch to be entertained? No.
We'll get to the All-Star game in a second.
Yeah. I was going off of your point with
yeah. No, I know. I was going to ask you real quick. Dunk competition 1 to 10. Where are you with it?
I'm a 5. If they continue,
so you're still okay with it?
I don't want to see it go away. I just want. I would love to see. Doesn't have to be superstars. I don't mind a Jaylen Brown going out there. People know who he is, right? I meant that type of player. All-star. Maybe you make a second team All-NBA. I don't want to see Matthias Yabusele, like whatever his name is, Gershon, yeah, whatever, dog. Like, and that's no disrespect. He's an NBA player, but like I don't remember hearing a Sports Center top 10 dunk of the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see somebody out there that I'm like, wait, is he a dunker or is he a shooter? Why is he out here? That's not going to draw my attention. But I don't want them to just get rid of it. I think they just have to. You got to find ways to make. Not the superstars, not the Derrick Roses and Jaws. Like you're not going to get those guys. Like I understand that, but like give me the fringe all-star guys that can dunk. Right? They can't. Zach LaVine is a prime example. He's not a all NBA, and I know he's a great dunker, but like nobody knew that he was a great dunker like that. They just saw him as an in-game dunker, and then all of a sudden they go, "Oh my god!" Like he's like this. Gerald Green, another one. Like fringe all-star guys that like people know because of their in-game dunking. You put them out there and you're going to get people to draw eyes again. And yeah, we've seen every dunk, but there's still something about how smooth in one try a 360 between the legs dunk is when it takes one try. That's going to get people to go, we might have seen this before, but he did that smooth as hell. Let me give him a 9 or a 10.
Well, it should be interesting because McClung's done. So yeah. What's the pivot going to be for the NBA in this competition?
Cash cow is dry.
Random AJ from the Bucks is actually Andre Jackson Jr. So I put respect on that man's name.
Okay.
You're like, I don't know who that is.
What is he, 13th on the roster?
Probably, yeah.
No disrespect as being an NBA player, but disrespect when it comes to the dunk contest because I don't know who the hell you are with that.
All right, NBA All-Star Game. Are you sick and tired of it?
I'm not tired of it, but if Silver can just simplify it, I think you might see a little bit better of a product. Let's do away with the gimmicks. Let's do away with the fours, the tournaments, the captains picking their players. Just go East-West. Just Make it simple. I love the Eastern versus Western. I love the jerseys that they had, the competition. I'm not even going to go back and call myself an old head and say bring back the regular, you wear your own uniform for pride. I love that, but I'm not ready to say that because some of the 90s All-Star jerseys were
Confusing.
dope. And was it what you say?
I said it gets a little confusing with like
True,
everyone.
yeah. Some people may not know, some people might be colorblind, whatever. So like I'm not saying that we need to go that far back, but just simplify it, right? And, like I want to see LeBron and Steph on the same team because they're both on the Western Conference. I want to see Giannis and wish I could do it, and Tatum, right? Like they're because they're on the East together. Like I want to see that grouping of players, and maybe you do get those Ant Edwards, you do get those Giannis Antetokounmpos who are on opposite sides, and then here comes Wemby to go. I'm not losing this game, and then you get Jokic who has the most fun he has in the world at the All-Star game. And then
No,
maybe you get
absolutely
a
not. He has the most fun in the
weekend.
world with his horse. He loves his
No,
horses.
you don't see Jokic smile as much as he does during All-Star weekend at any point in time. Like I think I saw a comment saying he uses this as the company retreat. Like at the end of the year when they send everybody to Mexico, this is him. So he enjoys it. But that's what I mean by it, is maybe if you get back to just East versus West, whatever the voting system is for it, you might be able to see these guys be like, all right, cool. Like, I don't want to say put a value onto it, like a home court advantage. I don't think you need to do that. I just want it to just simplify it. Enough with the gimmicks.
I just think East versus West, it's still going to be low effort, right? And that's what they tried to solve this year with these four teams. Like I told you, with this little tournament style that they did, race to 40. Having that target number does put pressure on, like, oh shit, we got to limit points. We still want to win, right? But having a low target number like 40 puts pressure on, like, we need to actually play ball now. And I was surprised. I watched the team of the old heads who won play up against the rookies, or like the Rising Stars winner. And I texted you, I'm like, are you watching this? And you're like, nah. And I'm like, they're playing basketball. And I was surprised when I saw, of all people, Mr. James Harden, first possession on defense, literally gets down in a defensive stance. And I'm like, oh, he's like, was it NBA level defense? No, but like he's actually playing defense and not just standing there. I was surprised. So like the tournament style does promote a little bit more competitiveness, especially with the younger team. I have my idea for you, my pitch, my sales pitch about how to improve the All-Star game. I told you last week and I wanted to tell you about it. And you said, hold it for this week. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. What is the biggest thing that's talked about between fans on social media and even like within the NBA shows themselves after All-Star selections?
Snubs.
Yes. Forget the team of rising stars. I want the NBA All-Stars to play against All-Star snubs. You know how motivated the snubs would be to be like, nah, I'm going to show you that I actually belong here and you don't belong here. So I want to replace, and you could do, maybe you do East versus West. Maybe you can do like, find a way to have every team play against like a team of snubs. I don't know if you can combine and be too many people on a roster or whatever, but I want to have the All-Star snubs somewhere worked into this thing, whether it's one of the four teams or you do like East versus East snubs, or East versus West snubs, West versus East snubs. And then the winner of that moves on. Like I want to find a way to get this hatred, not only just snubs, maybe like snubs and villains. So like if there's a player that like one of the All-Stars really butts
heads, you just want Dylan Brooks to be out there. Just say it.
Bring in Dylan Brooks to play against LeBron or whoever, just make it hostile. Let's bring the snubs in. Let's make it personal, and you will see people playing real hard when there's a little more motivation like that.
I don't hate the idea. I don't see that ever happening.
Nah.
I think that's a hilarious thing to do because you get people that want to be there, obviously, if that's the case. I did see, just because we're on the topic of snubs, I saw a picture and it was Trae Young, and the quote underneath it was the cousin that's always asking if you have games on your phone, and you finally just say, "Here you go." Like every year, he never gets voted in, but he's always there as a reserve. Like, all right, bro, here, take the game. Just get away from me and stop asking me for it.
I do feel bad. I think he deserved to be in the game. Like originally, he's having a very good year. I know he doesn't play defense, but he's been very good offensively for them.
It's always going to be tough to become an all-star when your team is very, very mid. Yeah, and like the Hawks don't jump off the page for anything. So he could be dominating triple-double, but I mean, I know they're in 8th place, but when you're 4 or 5 games under 500 in 8th place, who's really watching you? You know what I'm saying? And we all know that people like to say empty stats is a thing. That's something that's going to always be over his head. I know he's playing. I'm not saying he doesn't, but like people do the same thing with LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball putting up numbers.
I've done that
at points at some points of the season, he's leading the league in points per game, but then it's like he's getting blown out by 40 points. So it's like, what's the plus minus on that? Is he just
have to check. I have to check. But my biggest grievance with LaMelo Ball is he's super, super inefficient.
Oh, 100%. Yes. He will shoot. He'll score 30 off of 30 shots every single night if he could.
And I was going to say, I have to check on Trae Young's numbers, but I feel like he's less inefficient than LaMelo Ball. And I know there's a lot of Trae Young haters. I've actually watched several Hawks games this year. Trae Young's very, very good.
Yeah. He's nasty. I mean, he's leading the league in assists. So for those that think that he's a ball hog, he's not. He's a playmaker. There's just nobody in Atlanta with him. He had, what's his name?
Jalen Johnson's pretty good. Their wing, but he's hurt now.
Well, there you go. But even still, he's averaging 23, 11, and 3. So like,
what's his percentages? Do you have those?
Yeah, for this season.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, you're good. 33 from 3, 40 from field. So he's chucking not
That's
really
not great.
Not highest.
40 is not great.
45, 40. That would be better, but he's not there this season. Let me check his career.
He's good at the line, though. I will say that. He's like a 90% shooter.
This is his worst 3-point shooting year since his rookie season. So, like, down season for shooting for him. Scoring as well. Field goal percentage. This is his worst season. Shooting and scoring from the field since his rookie season.
Oof.
But he's averaging 23 and 11.
Yeah.
Like there's times where he notices he's not shooting well and he passes the fucking ball.
So the idea was
the highest he's had of his career.
The idea was to have the All-Star snubs play the All-Stars in the All-Star game, which would create motivation because again, the biggest motivator is like if your opponent's coming after your ass, then you got to step it up, and the snubs would be very motivated. The other one that we talked about it with the Rising Stars is it would be fun as hell to do a World versus US.
Yes, I would love that.
I think the only problem at this point, to be quite honest, is
embarrassment.
World would kick US ass.
Yes.
At this point.
It would be embarrassment. That's the thing. And I know I've seen it multiple times it's like videos of like the old heads versus the new generation. So it's, LeBron, KD, Steph, and then it's like Ant, Jason or JT, and like other players like, oh, it was your league, now it's ours. And like every video always ends with Shea, Jokic, Luka coming around the court and be like, you guys are funny. like they're just the international game is just in Giannis. Like it's just that much better. And there's nothing against what they're trying to do, obviously, here in the Americas, but like you got Giannis, you got Shea Gilgeous, you got Luka, you got Jokic, and whoever the hell you want to play and Wembanyama. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, you guys are doing your best, but yeah, that would the NBA couldn't do that because it would just be pure. Maybe it would fix it. Maybe it would. But it would be embarrassment. We've seen it just based off of the Olympics.
I'm looking at the All-Star rosters now. I don't know how deep the international would be with top end talent. These are the current international All-Stars from this year. You said SGA.
They wouldn't have to be All-Stars though. That's the thing.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, we're just talking top end talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
SGA, Jokic, Şengün, Pascal Siakam, Victor Wembanyama, Giannis. Obviously, Luka would be that caliber player, but he's injured and didn't make the All-Star team. I'm trying to think who would be the next man up then after that, right? Because we're saying, like, I agree, like the top in town. If you look at MVP voting, right, 3 out of the top 4 MVP getters are all international players, right? Between SGA, Jokic, Giannis, probably sitting at 4 or 3 at this point. I don't know who the next one up would be at the 4 slot for MVP, but like the top 3 MVP getters, probably all international players. So like international game has grown tremendously over the past 10 years, and some of our best players in the world are from international. But as far as depth is concerned, I don't know how they would fill out that roster.
I would have to go look at each countries. I know like Team Canada. Oh, there we go right there. Just Team Canada. Brooks, Jamal Murray,
Yeah.
Shea, Gilgeous-Alexander. I know that they have a big up in Canada also somewhere. I just can't remember their name. No. I remember seeing the pictures like during the Olympics of like sliding, scrolling on Instagram of like, this is USA. And I remember looking at Canada and be like, oh my God, that team is damn, they're good. But like even someone like we joke around, but like you'd have
I got you.
Karl Anthony Towns spilling Jokic and Wemby. And like I know I joke about him, but like then you got third string Rudy Gobert. Like
Okay.
a lot of rim protection.
So we talked a lot about the 4 nations, the idea of the hockey tournament, how competitive that is because of the pride. I think it's Finland, Sweden, or is it Finland, Norway? Finland, Sweden, Canada, United States. How about this, right? Because I was saying the United States, if we did a sort of tournament for basketball, we would be much overall, like top to bottom, a better roster, right? How about this?
I see where you're going.
How about this? We have East-West game. How about we split it up to make it more fair? East side, West Coast born basketball players in the United States, West Coast born basketball players, Team Canada, Team Europe. Or like you can split even Eastern, Western Europe.
No, I like Canada and I like Europe. I like that.
The Europe team would be too good though, because now you're looking at Jokic and Giannis at the same team and Luka.
Kick out the Canadians if that's the case.
The Canadians would be rough.
Yeah, you kick them out. I like that. I like Eastbourne. Yeah, I mean, because you got
West Side. Let's go.
You got
regional pride. Like people like,
say that,
East Coast, let's go.
St. Louis itself has got Jason Tatum. What school? Who he went to somebody's school? I know who was his mentor.
Tatum's mentor?
Yeah, somebody. He went to school with the same. His buddy. Who did they say that Jason Tatum was going to team up with? Because they were like best buddies, and then he ended up re-signing his contract.
Guys, Google Jason Tatum's buddy. See what happens.
It was somebody. Sorry, it's Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal he's St. Louis. Hey, I'm just saying. You were looking at people.
Hey, Google AI says Jason Tatum's buddy's Matthew Tkachuk, which is full circle, really, because we just talked about the 4 nations. So,
but yeah, I think that would be pretty dope. Because then it becomes more of a like Olympic thing.
Yeah.
And when we start messing with the Olympics, people tune into that shit because it becomes, like you said, it's about pride. So I wouldn't mind seeing Eastern-born Americans, Western-born Americans, Canada, and Europe. I think those would be 4 really good teams.
Now they're getting real crazy. Because we have to have the Europeans. Never mind. I was gonna say it'd be crazy if you could break the United States up into regions, but now we're just getting too far.
You wouldn't have enough if that's
you wouldn't have enough. Yeah,
and then you just removing the 3 MVPs.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
You know what, Luka, Giannis, and Jokic, y'all ain't gonna be in the All-Star game this week.
Sometimes I speak before I think. That's what happened there.
But no, I think that would be a dope concept. Hey, Mr. Silva, if you listening, you heard it here first. We fixed the All-Star game. Eastern-born All-Stars, Eastern-born Americans, Western-born Americans, East Coast, West. We'll split it right down the middle, right? Louisiana, Arkansas, all of that, and then to the left and to the right. Then you got your Canadian-born All-Stars, and European-born All-Stars. Sorry, y'all ain't in it. My apologies, Rui. I know, but I think that might fix the All-Star weekend. That is a hell of an idea. We need to put that shit to paper and send it to Silva.
Silva.
Silver or Silva?
Silver. He's not Portuguese. So we fixed a couple things.
Fixed the All-Star game.
We fixed the All-Star game. We fixed the slam dunk contest. We fixed the skills competition, or we just said fuck it.
We said if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
And we talked about the Rising Stars being EuroLeague MVP, yeah. the EuroLeague Super Team versus the Rising NBA Stars.
Yeah,
that would be dope, man.
Might get me to tune into TNT if that's the case.
See, what we're promoting on the podcast is basically USA versus the world, which the world
people tune in for that though.
The world kind of hates us right now, and we're just like, let's fucking go. So
it's our league, it's our game. Y'all playing in our country. That's terrible to say it like that, but like that's maybe that's gotta fix the damn weekend. Shit.
I mean, we've seen with the Four Nations how contentious USA and Canada is, and it's made for a hell of a hockey product. So maybe we're onto something here. The NBA.
We gotta send our tinfoil hat idea over to them. There it is.
All I'm asking for Adam Silver is give us a cut, man. That's all. Or just hire us as permanent, idea guys for the NBA. We got you.
Do that too.
Good show, D. Fun times. We fixed All-Star Weekend. I'm sorry about your Valentine's Day. And if you missed what happened to D on Valentine's Day, again, I implore you, check out the podcast, Frizz and the Grizz. D gave a elaborate 9-minute recap of how effed up his Valentine's Day was and all the crap that happened. And it was an amazing story. So please go back and listen to that. D, it's been fun, buddy. Why don't you actually fuck it. Let's just get out of here today.
You don't want to do last takes?
Do you have one?
I got one. If you're
okay, yeah. I'll hit you up. I had none, but I will let you take it from me.
Don't let me go right away then. Hold on, let me find the game.
Oh, you want to force me into it? You don't even want to go. I see how it is.
I have it here, but
there's some music, so you got some time.
All right.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. 1 segment, 2 takes. Now go.
All right, closing takes. It's time for us to get off one last shot, one last ISO ball, since we're talking a little NBA today. Can be anywhere in the sports landscape, pop culture, whatever you want. Since D so inclined me to start this segment, D, you will lead us off today.
All right. I got a big shout to it's going WNBA. It is going women's college basketball. I don't know if you're following it the way that I have, at least, and that's perfectly fine. It's not getting as much shine as it should. There's the names that we already know, Juju Smith's, Juju Watkins out of USC, Paige Becker's in UConn. Like, we got names all over the place. But I want to give a big shout to Miss Michaela Blakes, freshman out of Auburn. I'm guessing out of Vandy, played Auburn. I'm guessing you didn't see this game.
No.
Okay. She went off by breaking the freshman single game record for scoring, dropping a double nickel, 55. And I'm not saying that it was 55 off of just layups. This girl was pulling up, hitting mid-ranges, bumping and getting layup and
I see you.
Cross threes from deep. Like, she went off. If you get a chance, America, anybody listening, anybody watching, Trudeau, when you do, go look up Michaela Blakes. Yeah, okay. She dominated.
What school again does she play for?
She plays for Vanderbilt.
Okay.
She's a Commodore, and she beat Auburn.
Tommy.
Yeah, it was wow. This was over the weekend. I'm pretty sure the game was on Saturday. I actually kicked up with the little ones. LSU played Texas, and LSU blew a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. But we were all watching college basketball, so it's cool to see. I don't know if they're gonna follow sports. We'll see. It's really early to just get them into it. But like, they at least like watching it. They like watching basketball more than they like watching football. So that's a start.
Have you done sports with your kids yet?
We do dance. Right now we do dance. Peyton's afraid of everything, so she's afraid to play basketball because she's afraid of the ball hitting her in the face.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's an actual fear. So like that's I can understand it.
We did my 3-year-old. We did soccer. We just finished up.
Nice.
Boy, pack your patience, brother. If you're gonna do some sports with the kids.
He wants to do soccer. She's already said it. She's like, I want to play soccer.
That's all right. That's good. Little furrowing around, getting some goals. All right, my turn.
Oh, you got one.
I got one. So I want to talk about one name. So I'm going to talk about Justin Tucker and some of the stuff that happened with Justin Tucker.
Turn that shit down.
Now, well, so we talk about the Pollard and stuff like that. And what happened was...
Turn this down. I can't hear you.
So, yeah. I mean, him and Deshaun Watson, Justin Tucker, I mean, I can't believe what he was doing. And that's really all I got to say about Justin Tucker in that situation.
So I see that you started doing it on purpose.
you thought it was a... it was not on purpose.
Okay.
I lost controls of my control.
Have you ever seen Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet?
No.
Okay, so it's the second one, and at the end they have like an interview between Fix-It Felix and his wife. I can't remember the wife's name, but they say, "Hey, how is it that you guys can handle adopting 17 kids?" And they go, "Well, the key to parenting is," and then cars drive by. And they're like, but the car's driving by, and he goes, "Not only is it that, but you also gotta," and then the cars drive by again. And then at the end, they're like, "Well, I wish every parent could understand what you guys just said." So when you were doing that, in my mind, I'm like, "Yo, fix your shit. I can't hear you." Because like it's what they do at the damn show. But
all I'm saying is
the last time.
Next time you go to a salon, all you should be doing is really and enough of the other bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, let's get out of here, big dog. And then you'll be fine. You know? All right. Now that my point's over, D, good show. I can't believe you didn't know that was a bit. Why did you get us out of here, buddy?
I'm starting to get fucking aggravated. But hey, everybody that's here, we couldn't be any more appreciative of you. I don't know why my dog decided to just lay down right there. He was in one spot. Now he's right behind me. If you guys are watching us live, you can obviously find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube and your boy on Twitch, @Frizzy_Frizz5. If you're catching us tomorrow, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can find your podcasts. Anytime you guys need to see where we're at or what we do, check out the website. It usually is at the bottom, frizzandthegrizz.com. Hit us up. We'll have some merchandise at some point. When we getting up out of here, I like to say, be a friend. Say something nice. It's supposed to snow down here, so hopefully it's safe for you guys up there because we're getting some over the next couple days. Make sure that y'all take care of y'all chicken. Make sure y'all take care of y'all children. Take care of y'all mentals. Take care of y'all physicals, and we'll catch y'all on the rebound.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. Well, Coach, I mean, listen, we're talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for.
And that's how it is now. Rocking